class and what they chose when given those 4 options. All right, next. A Pareto chart is a different type of bar graph. You have drawn these before too. I feel certain you didn't call them that. But you've drawn them before. We're going to use the same data that we were using before. The only thing that you need to know about this one that's hugely important, well, there's a couple things. First of all,
Did we do the part 3 of the pie graph?
label the graph.
Okay, let me do that.
Uh-huh. All right, so different from just a regular histogram, when we do a Pareto chart, we want to put our data in descending order. You want your largest data piece first, and then it's going to go in order from there. So for our data, ours was Tarleton State, and then UTA, and then North Texas. And it was 4, 3, 1. All right, so in just a second, I'm going to put all that stuff in. You will label the X and Y axis. The x-axis in this case is non-numeric. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, I probably should have said it's non-quantitative, but you might have numbers down there, but the x-axis this time, it is not a number line. So because of that, when we do number 3, the bars on a Pareto graph don't touch because they don't mean anything. On the graphs that we've been doing in the past, when we did our frequency distribution, when we do histogram like that, that bar actually had a data value, which remember, that's why we had to go up a half and down a half, because that bar itself actually was a numerical value. In this case, the bars aren't numerical values, so we don't want our bars to touch. So we can actually, because this class is so small and we only have 8 pieces of data, I'm actually going to, we'll make this graph big. I'll say each one of these is 0.25. So this is 1, 2, 3. So I can have a great big huge graph. I counted 4, yeah. And then just for the sake of making it look nice, I'm going to skip so again, the x-axis in this case, so I shouldn't have put this right here, sorry y'all. I'm going to put number of people, or number of students. That's what our y-axis is representing. Our x-axis is I'll say state schools. Texas. It's non-numeric, and because it's non-numeric, I don't have to put that little jaggedy line. I'm going to skip a space just to make it look a little better before I draw my first one, which is going to be Tarleton State. 4 people chose Tarleton. I'm going to make it 3 bars wide just because I have room. and UTA was 3. I'm gonna skip 2 just again because I can. I have room, so. Oh, I made it too tall. Darn it. Hey, last one's from Texas.
Are we putting like and kind of like the initials on the x-axis?
I am. You could actually do it however you want it. You could have actually written the names down there, but it would be long. But you can do that whole, like line thing. Draw that kind of mini diagram since it's that long. You can do that if you wanted to. It just needs to be labeled so people know what they're looking at. Because the whole point in a graph of any kind is to display the data in a way that is meaningful. So Pareto graphs are really, really easy to look at and identify trends, like what people like the most, what people like the least. And in this case, we didn't have this, but last year when I did this, my class was a little bigger and they were all here. There was nobody out on virtual school when we did this. And I had 2 or 3 that all got the same number of votes. That's real easy to see from a Pareto graph because you have those 3 blocks that are all the same height. So that's what Pareto graphs are usually used for, is to be able to identify things just real easily. So they're kind of fun to draw.